Hello everybody!
Today's video is a requested video. We are going to talk to you guys about Harrison's birth story, our very first child, and how that went down and all the ups and downs and craziness of it all. Because it wasn't, I mean, it's a pretty good story. A lot happened. I was a first time mom, first time birth, and it was a whoop-de-doo, and it was intense. And first time dad too. Must have been intense for you.
It was nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I was almost 2 weeks past my due date. My doctor was very upset with me because I would not get induced. They were very like scaring me, saying like your baby's gonna die. Like it's bad. Like they were really freaking me out about that he wasn't gonna be okay. But I really wanted a natural birth and I was fighting for it. I did not want to be induced. So right around that, so it was 42 weeks-ish almost, I think around 1 a.m. I was sleeping and I felt a gush, a little tiny gush, and I ran to the bathroom and my underwear was wet and I thought my water broke, and I went back to bed. I put a pad on. I wasn't like I was not pouring water out by all means. It was just a little bit.
So your water broke and then you went back. I was asleep, so your water broke and then when you went back to bed?
Yeah.
Is that like a thing? Is it like,
well,
because you weren't
contracting? I wasn't contracting and I didn't know if I mean, who pees themselves when they sleep? I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't know. I thought, and then within an hour I started contracting. So I think it was like around 1:30 I woke you up. I said, I think it's time. I think it was every 5 minutes. I was watching a commercial. I was watching TV, just sitting there counting and freaking out because it's happening. And I woke you up, and then we lived with my parents at the time. We were in the upstairs apartment of their house. And so I went downstairs and I said, Mom, my water broke. I'm having a baby. And at that point, my contractions were hurting. I remember they were hurting. I had to like breathe through them, but they were like 5 minutes apart, so they weren't horrible. Like I wasn't in transition yet or anything. I just was having, you know, nasty contractions. Hospital's 45 minutes away from where we live, middle of the night. Never done this before.
I don't think the car ride was that bad though.
No, it wasn't like Posey's birth. I remember it hurting, and I remember like sitting and going, this hurts, like whoa. And I was one of those people that was like, it can't be that bad. It's stupid. I was an idiot. I was like, labor's gonna be great. People are just over dramatizing it. Let me tell you, it's not that great. So it hurt and I was a little freaking out inside. And I remember, well, on the radio, it was Miley Cyrus, what was it, Wrecking Ball? Or no, what was it called?
La da 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 dee. We love to party.
No, so he had this playing on the radio, and it came on like I think at least twice.
Yeah, it was just on the radio.
And
yeah,
the whole time I'm in labor, that melody was trapped in my head the whole time. La da 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 dee. We like to party. While I'm screaming my head off, that is in my head, and I blame him because he loved that song.
Yeah, it helped you through it.
Sure. I was just. Yeah. And my parents are with us too. They're in their car behind us when we're going. We get to the hospital, there's a wheelchair, I'm contracting, it hurts. I'm not like crying yet, but I remember going, this is like, whoa, what am I doing? Can we go back in time? I changed my mind. Like, not good. So we get up to there. They think I'm not in labor because I can speak and I'm talking and we're laughing with my mom and my dad, but when the contractions come, I have to breathe through them, and I'm like, holy Toledo, like this is not good. So they don't think that I'm in labor. And at this point, me and my mom talked about it. We talked about having champagne after Harrison was born. And so the parents brought champagne and we were all very excited. And meanwhile, I'm starting to really feel the contractions, and they check me, and when I'm contracting, I'm like a 4 centimeters dilated. And so they say, well, okay, we're gonna keep you here. Maybe you're in labor. My parents had a bottle of champagne glasses and whatever. And somehow my mom dropped the champagne bottle and broke the champagne bottle all over the room. While this is
like a champagne in there.
broke the champagne bottle all over the delivery room. It was great. And I'm like, at this point I'm feeling him. And so they say, okay, well, let's put you in the birthing tub. And I'm like, you know, totally like, okay.
Did you do a ball first, or was that?
Was there a ball? There was a ball.
We did the ball a little bit.
I remember the ball hurt. I remember there was no position that felt good. Which, yeah, labor. What am I thinking? So I was game for anything. So I did the ball, and then I started throwing up. I remember that too right away. I was vomiting. They said it was good because I was gonna put the baby down the canal, and I'm like, this is not good. Nothing about this is good. I get in the tub. There's pictures, I hope we have it, of like a balloon with the air bubble got trapped in my gown, because it was naked, or you had to wear a gown. Like, you could not wear a swimsuit, like, and I remember thinking, like, I'm not gonna be naked, like, it's not happening. So I wore their gown, and it filled up with air, and I'm like dying, and I had no idea what I was doing. How long was I in the tub for?
Not too long.
Gosh, there are times I felt like forever.
No, well, maybe half hour, 45 minutes.
Gosh, it felt like forever.
You didn't really like it in there.
No.
So then we got out.
And then at that point, I was screaming for anything, for help. I remember I wanted medicine. I didn't care. I changed my mind. Like, I was like, give me something. I got out of the tub. They got me dressed. I got checked again. I think I was a 5 or a 6. And I'm like, oh, no way. Screaming for anything. I don't have an IV in. So I'm saying, I'll take any medicine. And they're like, no, you can't. You need IV first. And at some point, I don't know when, I got Nubane. And Nubane, let me tell you guys, does not stop pain. Just makes you able to scream. So I get this, whatever this is, and it makes me incapacitated. But when I'm incapacitated, I'm awake. But I'm screaming inside. Like, screaming. And I want the epidural, but they tell me that I can't. The window's closed.
Too late.
It was too late, which I don't understand, because I had an epidural with the twins and there was an hour. Which I don't understand the whole too late business, other than they're just being not nice. At this point, I think I'm like a 9.5. And I remember them saying, well, let's start pushing. So I don't know, what time was he born?
3:15.
3:15. So this all happened within, I don't know, 8 hours or so. It seems like it felt a lot faster, but I know it took a lot longer. But I did push for 3 hours.
Pushed for a long time. 3
hours, well, I know this. I remember I was like a 9.5 for a very, very long time.
Was it actively pushing? Or was there breaks between?
Oh no, I can remember. Okay.
3 hours?
It was 3 hours. I remember that my joints in my legs hurt worse than my contractions at the end, because I was in this position for hours, and I remember thinking my leg sockets were gonna like break off. They hurt so bad. And I was like a 9.5, and for some reason the lip, I could not get to a 10, and I had no medication at this point. I'm feeling this full force. I'm screaming through these contractions. And she does this massage technique to my lady bits, that she would do this. And I remember thinking, I wish I had a machete that I could cut her hand off, because it hurt so bad when she did that. And she wouldn't stop, because she said, you won't tear. And I'm like, I don't really care. Just stop doing this. Because it'd be every contraction, she'd go, and swoosh. And I'd go, ah. Yeah, that was horrible. I was pushing and pushing, and my water broke. And that's when he came out. I guess what they think happened, my water broke slightly at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like a leak. And then it had like a huge explosion right as he was coming out. And I guess there was meconium in there, and everyone was worried about that, but he was fine. He came out, he looked like Frasier. He was all squished. That kid was so squished.
Really squished.
If you've seen hair, he's got a big old head. So, my poor lady parts, let me tell you. Yeah, but it's okay. I survived, he survived. Everyone said there was blood everywhere. I don't know why, because that was, my mom said there was blood everywhere. And out of all my births, she said that was the bloodiest. And I don't know why. I'm thinking it's from this. I don't know. That's what it felt like. I felt like I was being macheted, and ooh. So he came out. he got weighed. I was emotional wreck with this baby. Like, I was blindsided by the birth, which I don't know why I was, but I was. I was blindsided by the pain. I had needed stitches. I had to feel the stitches. I had to feel the shots when I had the stitches. I felt like I couldn't walk. I remember just being like, I'm never gonna walk again. This is the end of my life. I'm gonna die this way. Cause I literally, I remember that night, because he had to go home because he had to work the next day, which I don't know how we did that. So sad. It was so bad. That was such a hard time in our life. Did not know what I was doing. I remember Harrison, like, he cried because he was hungry. My milk didn't come in. I was just devastated because I was sleep deprived and in so much pain I couldn't walk. The beds had like lifts on it, and I could like raise the bed up, and so they had the bassinets, and so I raised the bed to the bassinet, so I was like 6 feet off the ground or something, and the nurse just came in going, what are you doing? I'm like, I can't get up and I can't reach him. And they were like, you can't do that, it's a hazard. And I'm like, you can't get up. Like, I did eventually get up. It felt like it was impossible. So yeah, that was the birth of Harrison. He was 8 pounds, 21 inches, I think, something like that. He was beautiful. I was the one that was suffering. I was the one that didn't know what I was doing. I did have postpartum depression with him. First time mom, not knowing what I was doing, did not prepare enough for what life would be like. I really thought I had this handled, and I didn't. Recommend first time moms read, learn. Don't be blindsided like me, because I was blindsided. And it was just hard. It was really hard. The first 6 months of Harrison's life, I was just a wreck. But I got through it. And yeah, I got through it. And he is a gift, and we are so lucky to have him. And he is the perfect oldest child, in my opinion. And he's the kindest, sweetest, like, biggest heart ever. Like, he has touched my soul in so many ways, and I'm grateful he's ours. So that is the birth of Harrison. It was a disaster. We never got champagne at the end. Okay, well, that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thumb the video up for us. We'd super appreciate it. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter if you want, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget, guys, you're wonderful. Bye.
Bye.